Hello, hello, good people. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Shauna Vaughn. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Please take a moment. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. After you watch the video and you love it, then make sure that you like the video and then please share. Share the channel, share any specific videos that you really agree with. Please share and bring more folks to the page. Down below, you see the correct spelling of my name. You have my Instagram information. I would encourage everyone throughout the week to pop onto my IG page so you can just get a little pop of news, whenever you need it, a little update, see what's going on in the world. You can use my IG page for that. Facebook, I don't post on that one as much, especially the political information, but Facebook is the same, Shauna Vaughn. And then you have my Cash App there, $1111 Oracle. Bless a sister if you want to bless a sister. And it is Oracle because I be knowing. I just be knowing stuff, y'all. I just be knowing. Okay, so this week, I thought it would be important for us to dispel some of the myths. Some of the myths. The regime has been implementing a full-on assault on reality, on just truth. And, if the further they try to take us down this rabbit hole, the more people we're going to lose because people fall for the okie doke. They don't know whether it's true or not. So some people will just check out because they don't know whether it's true or not. And then other people will become red hat people and we'll lose some more people there. So we got to keep the truth top of mind. We got to make sure that people have access to the truth. So I wanted to touch on 10 modern day myths, 10 myths, 10 lies that are being perpetuated by this current regime. Okay, number one, there was no assassination attempt on the felon. There was no assassination attempt on the felon. What was happening was his numbers were tanking, and they needed to garner some sympathy from folks to boost his ratings and his support. And that's why they orchestrated what they orchestrated. If you've watched the video, you noticed how, number one, they left his head unprotected. That would never happen. Secret Service would never have done that in a real assassination attempt. And they did it multiple times. So he goes down, or they're covering him, and then he comes back up with the whole fight thing. And then he's going to the car and they stop before he gets in the car. And then he, goes up higher, getting in the SUV, but not getting in the SUV. And again, waving at people, the fight thing. That would never happen. This Secret Service would never let that happen if there was actually a situation happening. Also, if you haven't noticed by now, he likes to orchestrate his own reality. Like, I feel like, to him, we're all just pawns in one big reality show. We're all just background actors in his big reality show. So that's what that was. A big reality show for people to garner attention, garner sympathy, and for, to boost his numbers going into the election. That's what that was all about. The craziest thing, even crazier than what happened, in my opinion, or what they orchestrated, was the maxi pads on the ears. That was the most outrageous thing. If you were one of the people who did that, you look stupid. I just want to let you know that you looked ridiculous walking around with big maxi pads on your ears. But that just lets you know how many people bought into that lie that they were perpetuating about this assassination attempt. Number two, The kid that is being accused, I believe his name is Robert, last name is Robertson, being accused for the Charlie Kirk unaliving. Just this week, Joe Kent came out and said that he would testify for on this kid's behalf, or this young man's behalf. Why did Joe Kent say this? Joe Kent just left the administration, resigned, and said that he no longer agreed with, basically the direction that the felon was trying to take the country and get us involved in this another forever war, and going along with Israel, etc. So Joe Kent has come out this week and talked about it. He did an interview with Tucker Carlson, and he talked about, shared his thoughts about what happened to Charlie Kirk. He said that he had talked to Charlie Kirk shortly before he had been unalived, and Charlie Kirk specifically said to him, look, man, don't allow them to drag us into a war with Iran. He said that he also knew that Charlie Kirk was being pressured by Israel lobbyists. And he knew that Charlie Kirk was starting to speak out against Israel. So you take all that into account, and then you go back again, look at the video, and none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Where this young man had this weapon hidden when he was running across the roof and jumping off the roof. And then he gets to the field and he drops it in the field, and he changes his clothes. And then he talked to, or was texting his, first we got live-in lover, and then we got just friend. Like, all of it was just fucked up. And just this past week, Joe Kent came out and said, you know what? I believe that something else happened to Charlie Kirk. I believe that there's another group that was responsible for his unaliving. So I am willing to testify on this young man Roberson's behalf. Look it up. Okay. So another lie. And y'all, I already did a whole video on all the other things that were suspect, and just initially when it happened, to me, all the things that were suspect. So you can go find those videos. The third truth is that you should know is that we are at war. We are at war. They keep wanting to call it an excursion. They want to call it a conflict. I can't even remember what he called it the other day, but he said, I'm not trying not to say war, and I'm talking about the felon. We're at war. We're at war. It has all the markings of a war. So let's call it as such. And as a matter of fact, not only are we at war, we're not winning the said war. Contrary to what the felon would like you to believe, we're not winning. If you can look and find videos and information out there, Israel is being decimated. Israel is being trashed by Iran. Search it. I know it's going to be difficult because they're hiding this information coming out of Izzy, but it's there. The videos are there, showing all the damage in Tel Aviv, et cetera, and other surrounding areas. We are not winning. It is a war. And not only is it a war, they plan to drag it out. And how we have proof that they plan to drag it out is because the felon is considering sending 10,000 additional troops. Now, why are you sending more troops if we've already won? He said repeatedly, we've already won and it's over. And then he said, we're not at a war. So how do you win a war that you were never in? How do you do that? How does one do that? Why would you be preparing to send additional troops to a war that doesn't exist and that you already won? That doesn't make sense. Why are you still asking for money? 200 billion or million? $200 million additional dollars for a war that you said does not exist, is not real. Why do you need money for that? It's not real and it doesn't exist. Or you've already won it. And while we're on this topic, my fourth point is we have we have two glorified realtors negotiating a war on behalf of America. Two glorified realtors in Kushner and Witkoff. They're just realtors. They're just property managers, glorified realtors and property managers. Why? Why does anyone believe that they have the expertise to negotiate a war? A war. Do you even know military equipment? Do you even know what these bombs are capable of? What these bombs are called? Do you even know the difference between, I don't know, do you know that they take prisoners and there's casualties and what do you know about war when you spent your entire life in real estate and buying property? Now, we all know that their objective is money and to set up these island-like resorts. We all know. Kushner has exposed this. But right now, in this moment, if that's what you're trying to accomplish, this is the end crew. This is the cleanup crew. This is not the people who should be negotiating war. But right now, we have two glorified realtors negotiating a war for us. Number 5, white people just be saying shit. Y'all say shit all the time. It doesn't make sense half the time. You say nonsensical things. You just say whatever the hell you want to say. You say very rude and crude things. White people just be saying shit. And let me tell you this. The reason, especially white men, and the reason they do it is because they know they can get away with it. Look at the felon. He's never been told no in his life. I guarantee you he's never been told no in his life. He's never been corrected. He's never been questioned. Look at Congress right now. Look at the weak, feckless Congress we have right now and how none of them will stand up to him. None of them will question anything that comes out of his big fat mouth. White men do this all the time. And let me tell you why they get away with it. Let me tell you why they get away with it. Because for so many years, hundreds of years, we, the rest of us, have been conditioned to just go along with whatever the fuck they say. Oh yeah, the white men know. Oh, the white men know. And don't let them have a little money. Oh my God. We're fawning over them like they are just the second coming of Jesus. When none of this is true and they just saying stupid shit. So stop doing that. We got to unlearn that. They are not the end all to be all. They are not supreme. They don't know all. That was a bunch of bullshit that all of us have bought into because they conditioned us. Hey, if I say it, it is the truth and it is gospel and you follow it. That's what you were supposed to do. Fuck that. They just be saying shit. Number 6. This week, Pam Bondi said, being American is a privilege, not a right. Bullshit, lady. Being American, born on American soil, makes you an American. It is your right. It makes you an American. End of discussion. That's it. That's it. Cognitive tests. Let's talk about these cognitive tests that the felon is always wanting to talk about. Like he literally talks about these cognitive tests every time he gets in front of a podium. I have said this to you before. Intelligence tests are given in elementary school. Every single one of you took one. That's how they knew where to place you in the education system. That's how they knew whether or not you needed IEPs or you needed to be in the gifted and talented classes because you took an intelligence test. Now, moving forward in your life, you don't have those anymore, just, through systems and voluntarily. You are given cognitive tests later on in life. If, let's say, you go in because you had a concussion, you play football, you play soccer, softball, whatever, you have a concussion, there's been a blow to the head, or you're aging. So there's questions about your cognitive wellness because you're aging, felon. You're damn near 80 years old. That's why they keep giving you these tests and asking you about cows and alligators and dinosaurs and putting shit in order. And do you recognize this? And do you know what? It's a cognitive wellness test, folks. They're testing him for dementia and Alzheimer's. It is not about intelligence, but his dumbass believes and wants to convince you that it's about intelligence, and it is not. It is not. After K through 12, it is not about intelligence anymore. It is about cognitive wellness, period. All right, so number 8, protests don't work. That is a lie. That is a lie. Now, here's the thing. Protests come in many, many forms. What we see in the streets right now with No King's Day, the numbers are increasing every time they have these protests. And that is an amazing thing to see. That energy, that spirit is so powerful. And it also gives people a sense of connectedness. It gives us a collective action. It gives people a sense of community, that you're not alone. So yes, they are powerful and they work in that way. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. If you combined all the different types of protest, we could be so powerful as a nation and as just mankind. If we combined the marching with the strikes and labor protests and economic protests, if we combined all of that, we could be so powerful. So alone they are impactful, but if we combine them, they could be so powerful. So on the high end, on the low end, it promotes all the things that I just said. But on the high end, we could literally crash this economy and we could bring this government to its knees if we combined all the different types of protests. So don't let anybody tell you that protests do not work. They are powerful, and they're powerful in many different ways. So that is another lie that people try to perpetuate. And you got to ask yourself, when people tell you these things, why are they telling me this? Why are they telling me that a strike, a labor strike, a economic boycotts, why are they telling me that marching in the streets and seeing those numbers are not powerful? Why do they want me to believe that lie? That's what you need to ask yourself. Moving right along. Dear MAGA, you have been betrayed. You've been betrayed. They lied to you about the wall. They lied to you about draining the swamp. As a matter of fact, they have bought the swamp back. They are the swamp. They are the swamp. They are milking this government. They are milking our coffers. They are milking us for every nickel and dime they can get out of this government right now. And we'll be lucky. We will be lucky and very fortunate and blessed if we have any Social Security left when they are gone, because I believe they're robbing that too. You didn't receive any price cuts. As a matter of fact, the price of everything is increasing. The price of gas is off the charts. No rebate checks have been received. No Doge rebate checks. No tariff rebate checks have been received or have gone out. America was not put first. We are literally in the Middle East fighting a war, participating in a war because Izzy wanted us to join them in that war. Has nothing to do with us, other than the felon has probably figured out some way that he can make some money off of it. And also, do some things, mess up our midterm elections is probably the plan as well. We are at war. You were promised no more long-term wars, and we are at war. You were betrayed on that end as well. You were betrayed in regards to the Epstein files. You still haven't seen all the Epstein files. No one has. You got no help with home buying. There were no job increases. Matter of fact, Melania, the first lady that you voted for, walked out with a robot this week, a robot that's supposed to replace teachers. They're trying to replace you with robots, MAGA. Because I know some of you are teachers, and I know some of you work in other industries where AI is taking over and robots, they're ushering them in. Walk right in with Melania this week. If you missed it, Google it. So no income increases, no job increases, no home buying, no help with home buying. Kamala was trying to give you 25 grand on a down payment if you're a first-time home buyer. Y'all didn't want that shit. I didn't want that. They're trying to recruit your kids. Trust me, it's coming. They just increased the age to allow people in, older people into the military. And if that doesn't work, they're coming for your kids. I told y'all this last year, they're coming for your kids. If you have a 401k, it's up and down every single freaking day because the felon just goes in front of cameras and says whatever the fuck he wants to do, whatever he wants to say. And lastly, the felon has become $4 billion richer. He has enriched himself by $4 billion since he took office just last year. Just last year. How are you winning, MAGA? What does your come up look like? Put it in the comments. Let us know how you have come up. How's your business doing? How's your business thriving and excelling? And unless you're in the gun business, the military business, penitentiary business, detention center business, how are you coming up, MAGA? How is your life great? Are you great yet? None of the rest of us are. But you let us know if you're great yet. And then the last thing I want to say to everyone, you are not powerless. The lie they want to perpetuate through their actions is that the American people are powerless, that we can just do whatever we want to do here. We don't have to ask Congress for permission for things, and Congress is sitting on their hands acting like they can't do their damn job and flying home every opportunity that they get. You are not powerless. We all have a role to play. We all have stake in this moment, and you all have a platform. Even if you only have your family members and your students or your 15 coworkers that listen to what the fuck you say, you have a platform. Use it. Use it to bring people to their senses. Because you are not powerless. They want you to believe that. They want you to believe that they have all the power, that they have all the control. But you know what we saw? We saw how Minneapolis showed them, oh no, the fuck you don't. You are not coming in our city and doing whatever the hell you want to do. Minneapolis showed them that. All of us should take a page out of their book. Also, I want to say that Minneapolis was never, ever about fraud at daycare centers. Please stop letting them perpetuate that lie. Yes, it was about brown and black people. Specifically, they were trying to go after Somalis. I don't think they were very successful with that. That's why they just started targeting everyone. But yeah, it was never about the daycares and some bullshit fraud. It was not about that. And last thing I want to say here is ICE is not, the icy folks are not in airports to help you. They are not. Even though they're passing out water, some of them are meandering around on their phones, not really paying attention, not causing any harm. They are not there for you. They are there to desensitize you to them being in militarized spaces. What do I mean by that? They are there to get you accustomed to and used to seeing them in all spaces, in airports, in grocery stores, at games, at concerts, on campuses, at polling locations. That's why they are in the airports. Yeah, they might be handing out some water. Don't fall for that bullshit, because these are the same people that just a week ago would have pointed an AR in your face if you said something contradictory to what they were trying to tell you. These are the same people who were dragging people out of their homes and their cars just 2 weeks ago. But now they're in airports unmasked and trying to look all safe. Don't fall for that bullshit. It is about desensitizing you, just like those freaking videos that are coming out of the White House. Get you accustomed to and feeling comfortable with them being in all spaces. And we are not a third world country. We are not Russia. We are not North Korea. And we are not China. We don't want that bullshit. So do not fall for the okie doke people. It's all a lie. It's all a ruse. And we have to call it out every single time, because they are trying to bury the truth. And there's a full out assault on our reality. And we have got to make sure that we hang on to it, and that we spread the truth, and we make sure that everybody stays on the same page, because every single time they're successful, we lose some people here, we lose some people here, we lose some people there. There are some people we'll never get back. I honestly believe that there's 20 to 30% of America we will never get back. They're gone. They drank the Kool-Aid, they just didn't, they fully have drank the Kool-Aid. So that's it, folks, for this episode. I'll be back with some more news soon. Go No King's Protest. Make sure that you're doing your part, whatever that part is. It could be educating folks. It could be talking to your circle. It could be donating funds or money for people for signs, or showing up with food if you got a pizza place, if you got a sandwich sub place or whatever. Do your part. We all have a platform. We all have a role to play. We all have this collective power to get us out of this moment. But it's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us. Collectively, it's how we win.